Hi there, everybody. My name is Kate, and welcome to my channel, Trinergy Awakens Naturally. I want to share some information, and then I'm going to split to another video that I just made a few minutes ago. But I thought I'd give a little bit of a brief so it's not completely out of the blue and wild. First of all, I had just gotten home from driving to the chiropractor's office and coming home. And my hair is crazy. I'm all like, it looks discombobulated, as a friend of mine used to say, or discombobulated if you want to go with the Webster's version. But anyway, it's a little raggy looking, so forgive my straw hair and all that. We're, at negative something this morning, so, hair is whatever. But let's get to the more important part. I live in Colorado Springs, and in Colorado Springs, where I live is Pikes Peak, which is one of the tallest mountain ranges. I think it might be the second tallest in Colorado, but it's noticeable. It's a huge mountain, 14,000 feet or something. It's up there, and you can't go anywhere too far without seeing it. And I live very close to Garden of the Gods, which is a huge park dedicated to a lot of those beautiful rock formations associated with the Pikes Peak region and that whole mountain range, et cetera, et cetera. So it's really, really prominent. I mean, you can't possibly go anywhere outside of Colorado for miles. I mean, it's a mountain range, right? And so I just wanted to put it into the context that when I was coming home from my chiropractor's appointment this morning, it's super cold. It's, hella stormy. We're expecting all kinds of, very frosty, terrible weather, blah, blah, blah. Everybody is, not just me, but everybody is. So, I mean, we're in that's the standard, is that it's cold, it's below zero, the wind chill is obnoxious, all this very blustery, very, very bitter. There's not a lot of people out. I mean, this is not the time, go get an adjustment and go home, for me personally, because it's starting to snow. Sorry, I forget about that mic. It is starting to snow, and there's, warnings out, weather warnings. So anyway, what came to me was I looked up and I realized as I was, driving that, oh my gosh, usually I can see the mountain range without any difficulty, and it is it's the first time it's ever happened that I've seen it this way, that the mountain disappeared all of a sudden. Oh my God, what happened? The mountain is completely obstructed by clouds. I mean, like thick mofo clouds too. Like I said, it's usually hovering somewhere around the top, of Pikes Peak. There's some business and there's snow usually year round. But it was just like slam, and I went, oh wow, if I can get a more metaphysical interpretation going on of, this is a storm, right? A storm. Well, during a storm, I could be really super inclined if I was driving along and lost my idea that Pikes Peak is right there, Garden of the Gods, I mean, all the stuff that I know is here. I hike in these mountains. I live right there. I've touched, and licked rocks in there. I've hugged trees right there. I know. But if I sat in my car and looked out and let myself believe the picture that I saw with my little 3D eyeballs, oh my God, I'd be terrified. I had to laugh. I'm like, oh, a whole mountain range just disappeared. How is that for faith? That we get to a storm, it's cold, it's below zero, the wind chill is, I can't handle this. My faith is really being shaken with your sub-zero bullshit. I can't do this, right? If I let myself stop there, dang, sorry. If I let myself stop there, I could get into a whole twit about how my mountain left. There's nothing but this incredible snowstorm that's coming, and I'm likely to freeze to death. And oh my God, what? So that's what we're starting with, is the premise that faith for me is very similar, and you're going to hear me say some of the same things. So pardon preemptively for repeating myself and babbling slightly, or a lot, however your opinion is on that. I do talk weirdly sometimes and go on, but thank you for your patience. So but I did want to at least say that it's very much my faith is that I know these mountains are here, then I couldn't possibly let anybody tell me that it's not here. And if I tried to tell someone else about my major experience here and how wonderful and healing and all that it is, today's not a good day to try to convince them, especially if they don't even know what a mountain is and they've never been hiking in one, never seen a picture, and never experienced what it is to see that kind of magnificence and 14,000 feet shooting straight up into the heavens, and I'm telling them that that's there with all this glorious stuff and they can't see anything. except a storm. So I'm going to cut away. Thank you very much. As I said, thank you. And I'll just cut away to the next thing. But I didn't close it out. So let me do say that I hope you enjoy your day, whatever part of the day you're in. And get within your skin, baby, because you're divine. It's so fine. Notice the Pikes Peaks. They're everywhere, not just in my world. The Pikes Peaks of the whole entire globe are right here for us to see that magnificence reaching right up into the heavens. Thank you. Have fun. Okay, so I just got home from the chiropractor, and when I was coming back, I want to make sure I remember what I was seeing, that I know that Pikes Peak on my way home, that I should be able to see that. And the spiritual journey is no different than someone who would drive on Garden of the Gods road and know absolutely without a shadow of a doubt that there's a whole entire mountain range right here. I should be able to see that, you know, when I get to this point. And it's obstructed by clouds and all kinds of stuff, you know, today because of a storm. Imagine. And man, I've had zipper issues for 3 days. Something is not feeding properly for someone somewhere. It's not lining up right. For 3 or 4 days now, I've had zipper issues. Trying to get my vest, my jacket, it doesn't matter. And I don't generally have this problem. So something is having difficulty feeding. But the idea of when I'm driving home and I don't see Pikes Peak anymore, it's because the storm is in front of it. It's not that the mountain range isn't there. And so my faith, right? That's not faith. I know that's there. You know, I live here. What do you mean? I drive this. I've seen this. And even if I had only seen it one time, you know, if I had seen it one time and can lock in that, yep, that's it. I know that's there. Then it doesn't matter in the storm that I couldn't see any of it. I mean, it's not usually that cloudy and obstructed or obscured, but it certainly was today, and is today. Now, you see, I'm having an issue. I just want out of my jacket, and I just really want out of my jacket. There we go. And my vest too, man, I was having a struggle with it. So anyway, that if I let some fool while I was driving come and tell me, if I said, oh my goodness, you know, where did Pikes Peak go? If I let somebody in my car, you know, tell me, oh, stop, you know, you're going the wrong way because obviously it's not here. What are you talking about? That, you know, maybe I've told them, hey, I found this really great thing. It's called Pikes Peak. You're going to love it. You know, come with me. And, you know, they're going to tell me, no, Pikes Peak isn't over there. You're crazy. There's no such thing. There's no mountain, especially if they've never heard of a mountain, never seen one. And I'm there talking about this amazing thing, you know, and then we get down the road and there's nothing but clouds. They would very easily be able to, if I wasn't solid in what I knew I saw, I could be very easily distracted and swayed to think that, okay, there is nothing there. There's nothing there at all. But if I know, I know I've seen this every day of my life, you know, how are you going to tell me for real? I mean, that's where I am now with my faith, is that, oh, you couldn't possibly tell me that that's not there because I see it every day. You know, I consciously look for it every single day. So how are you going to really tell me that that just suddenly went away? That's your perception and your lack of understanding and your lack of faith in me and yourself and the mountain. I mean, all these different, you know, sources of proof, you know, and validation. You know, we've got validation everywhere, but if a person doesn't want to see it, they don't want to believe it, and they've never, you know, really witnessed a mountain or seen it or know or understand exactly what that's going to be like, then they might find a whole lot of reasons to try to, you know, distract us from that. But there's still not going to be any way that a person would tell me that, nah, there's, excuse me, a huge rock formation, like mountain range is right there. You couldn't possibly shake my faith. Don't even try.